association so important that it should be actually taken up very, very seriously. It's very, very difficult to get devotee association. It's not that easy. We think it's very easy, or just at the click of the laptop button or the click of the phone, we can get the devotee association. The real devotee association is devotee association means when you imbibe the qualities, you sit with them, listen to them, and take the qualities to your heart. And even getting into the circle of the devotees, it's very difficult. Only fortunate souls go till there. I would say I was just going through Prabhupada lectures and I came out different. He's given so many quotes for devotee association. He talks of, in the Padam Puran, he talks about where Mata Parvati is getting instructions from Lord Shiva. And he's telling that, my dear Parvati, there are different methods of worship. And out of all such methods of worship of the Supreme Person, is the method of worshipping the Supreme Person is the highest. But even higher than the worship of the Lord is the worship of the Lord's devotees. So see what he says about it. Lord Shivji is saying to Parvati that Bhagwan ki bhakti to hai important, but usse bhi important hai, usse bhi upar hai bhakton ke sang aur bhakton ka glorification. So the worshipping Uttam Adhikari, worshipping means what? Listening to the instructions of Srila Prabhupada, following them. Then what happens? And sitting in the association of the devotees gives you the motivation, the inspiration. Without that, it's impossible. I will be going to that part also now, later on, कि हमें क्या क्या करना चाहिए भक्तों के संग में रहने के लिए, हमारे लिए क्या क्या जरूरी है. ऐसे ही 3rd canto के 7th chapter, verse 19, 3.7.19 in Srimad Bhagavatam, it says there that let me become a sincere servant of the devotees, because by serving them, one can achieve unalloyed devotional service. When we serve the devotees, we get unalloyed devotional service unto the lotus feet of the Lord. The service of devotees diminishes all miserable material conditions. जब हम भक्तों के संग में होते हैं, हमारी सारी प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व हो जाती हैं. जो मटेरियल कंडीशन जिससे हम बाइंड हुए हैं, हम उससे फ्री हो जाते हैं. And we develop what develops within one? A deep devotional love for the Supreme Personality of Godhead. क्योंकि हमारे अंदर किस चीज की कमी है? The only one thing we are lacking is the love for God. And that is actually in the association of devotees. वो मिलेगा सिर्फ भक्तों के संग में, क्योंकि भक्ति का जन्म स्थान ही भक्तों का संग है. भक्ति जन्म ही लेती है जब भक्तों के संग में होते हैं. भक्ति कभी भी ऐसे नहीं आ जाती अपने आप से. You can, what chanting makes you, it actually encourages you to go into the association of devotees. It develops an attraction in your heart to associate with the devotees. You understand the importance of the association of devotees when you're chanting sincerely. जो sincerely जप करते हैं, कई तो जन्मों जन्मों तक जप करते रहते हैं सिर्फ जप करने के लिए. We should not follow the rules and regulations just for the sake of following them. It is for the sake of advancement, for the sake of begging to Krishna that please show me the way out. I want to reach out to you. So how do I reach out to you? And then Krishna has given all this in the scriptures, that how we can reach out to him. The only way to reach out to him is through the association of devotees. So in the Skanda Puran also there is a similar statement. Person whose bodies are marked with tilak, they say, symbolizing the conch shell, wheel, club and lotus. So this tilak has got a lot of, iske piche bahut importance hai. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, he goes to the extent of saying that I do not take the darshan of those who don't put tilak. So it says in the Second Puran, whose bodies are marked with tilak and who keep the leaves of tulsi on their heads, and whose bodies are always decorated with gopi chandan, even seen once, can help the seer be relieved from all sinful activities. अगर वो उत्तम अधिकारी या भक्तों के संग में रहते हो और देखते हो तिलक ही को देखने मात्र से ही you are relieved from all sinful activities. Tilak has so much power. And actually in the association of devotees, we come to understand of these things. Otherwise, this is impossible for all of us to understand. So I've given you from the Sakanda Puran, I've given you from Pradam Puran, I've given you the quote from Srimad Bhagavatam. So how important it is. And in the Srimad Bhagavatam also, there is another, they say, in the 19.33, 1.19.33. There is no doubt about one becoming free from all reaction to sinful activities after visiting a devotee or touching his lotus feet or giving him a sitting place. Just giving respect to the pure devotee of the Lord. Then what happens is, by इसी से करने से आप सब पापों से मुक्त हो सकते हो. Even by remembering the activities of such a Vaishnava. So when we talk about our Uttam, when we talk about Prabhupada, that's why Prabhupada Leelamrit is so important to read. When we read Prabhupada Leelamrit, we actually regenerate our bhakti. Immediately we get inspired. So I've started every day in the morning. First we were doing the chanting sessions every day in the morning with my group. And now I've started reading of Prabhupada Leelamrit. Just like 2-3 pages every day. So that actually helps a lot. That how he established the center in San Francisco, what all the problems, what all he was going through when he was doing all this. So it's amazing to read those stories again and again. We've read them once, but then that is not sufficient. That's not at all sufficient. Nityam Bhagavata Sevya. So reading and listening to Prabhupada Leelamrit every day, it's Bhagavata Sevya. That's what it's mentioned here. That's the association of a devotee, a pure devotee. And when we go deep into Prabhupada Leelamrit, we are actually associating with so many devotees who were actually at that time becoming devotees. And we understand them, that how did they give their lives? How did they surrender to their spiritual master? So that is the surrender comes. That is how the association helps us to surrender. Otherwise, we become manmukh. So manmukh is mental speculators. We don't have to become manmukh. Mental speculation is not allowed in bhakti. It is very harmful for bhakti. And we actually let our minds to do that. We leave our minds, because when we are out of the association of devotees, our mind is bound to become a mental speculator. We will become a mental speculator. We speculate everything. We become judgmental. We actually become judgmental about that devotee, this devotee, and we commit Vaishnava Aparadh. And when we commit an offense, the holy name goes away from us. The pure holy name. You may be chanting, but still you will not feel that ecstasy. You will not feel that mood of surrender. So people think that superficial chanting, it's going on, it's going on. We are chanting. They keep on telling, oh, we are chanting. And yet, we are not feeling anything. Because how will you feel the ecstasy? Because you are committing an offense again and again. So when we are committing offenses, how will we feel that love for Krishna? How will we feel that love for a Vaishnava? When we talk of Vaishnavas, that's what it says here. When we are thinking of the Vaishnavas, even talking about their pastimes, what does it bring? It purifies us. And along with one's whole family, if one is reading, and what then can be said of rendering direct service to him? तो यहाँ पर कहा जा रहा है भागवतम के 1.19.33 में कि आप अगर उन भक्तों का नाम भी लेते हो, उन भक्तों के बारे में सोचते हो, उन भक्तों के बारे में चर्चा करते हो, you talk about them, it purifies you. And अगर आप डायरेक्ट उनकी सेवा करते हो, तो how much it's going to benefit you? How much it's going to purify you? So this is so important for all of us, that we understand the glories of being in the association of devotees. We forget that. We become mental speculators. And I'm going to talk from there is beautiful quote in the Granth Sahib also. There are many, many quotes in Granth Sahib. I'm coming up with another book now. On this 23rd August, it's Guru Maharaj Vyas Puja. His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj Vyas Puja. And I'm offering him another book now, Vaishnavism and Sikhism, another part that's coming up, which I'm going to, because he kept on saying throughout, when the first book came, after that, Guru Maharaj was always telling me, write another, write another. And now I have come up with another one after many, many years. The first one came in 2007, and now it's 2022. And this, I said, I must actually follow his instructions. If he wants me to write, I should write. So I wrote this book, and now Guru Maharaj has given a beautiful foreword for my book. He's gone through the book, and now it's in under printing, and it will be offered to him on the 23rd of August. And it's coming only in English right now because I have written, the translations will be done later in the years to come. So this is only the mercy of a pure Vaishnava. I know I have no qualification to write. And sincerely, I'm telling you, if you meet my old day friends and my school friends, they would tell you what kind of I would never venture into such a thing. I could not have, nobody I could have thought of even, I myself. And when I became a devotee also, I knew I cannot write. So it's only the mercy of the Guru Parampara that flows, and that actually helps you to fulfill the wishes of the spiritual master. ये task तभी complete होते हैं when the Shakti comes, when the empowerment comes from the spiritual master. He's a Vaishnava, a pure Vaishnava. So that is the power of the Sadhu Sangha. So in the Granth Sahib also, there is a beautiful quotes in the Sukhmani Sahib. I will be sharing with that also with you, where it's mentioned that how the Sadhu Sangha is so important. It says, Sadh ke sang mukh ujjal hot. When you're in the company of the sadhu, when you're sadhu sang means the association of devotees, those who are chanting, those who are doing sadhana, that's sadhu sang. And the prime most are the Vaishnavas, the Guru Parampara, those who are fully purified, wholly purified, those who are in love with Krishna all the time. So sadhu ke sang mukh ujjal hot. When you're in the company of the sadhu, you become radiant. Sadh sang mal sagli khot. You actually get all the filth get discarded from you when you're in the association of devotees. Sadh ke sang mite abhiman. When you're in the association of devotees, you become humble. The false pride goes away. Sadh ke sang pragate sugyan. When you're in the association of devotees, the wisdom is revealed. The pure, the spiritual wisdom gets revealed. Sadh ke sang bujhe prabh nera. When you're in the association of devotees, Krishna is just with you. The God is, the Prabhu is always with you then. He's there because he lives in the association of devotees. When two Vaishnavas even, जब वो दंडवत प्रणाम करते हैं एक दूसरे को, वैष्णव प्रणाम करते हैं, they are actually doing the pranam to Krishna. He comes and stand in the middle. जब भी हम प्रणाम मंत्र बोलते हैं, उसी समय कृष्णा स्वयं उपस्थित हो जाते हैं. He is there standing between the two Vaishnavas because उनकी चर्चा हो रही है, उनकी बात हो रही है. मच्चित मद्गत प्राणा बोधयन्ते परस्परम. So devotees, what they do, they remember Krishna all the time. They carry Krishna in their hearts. So they are actually the places of pilgrimage. Who? The pure Vaishnavas, the Uttam Adhikaris. They are actually the places of pilgrimage. If we bow down to them, we have done all the pilgrimages. So it says here, Sadh ke sang bujhe prabhanera, sadh sang sab hota nibera. When you are in the company of the devotees, then all the conflicts are settled. All your doubts are gone. सब संशय दूर हो जाते हैं, सब कुछ आपको सब उत्तर मिल जाते हैं. साध के संग पाए नाम रतन. In the association of devotees, you get what? Naam Rupi Ratan. You get the jewel of the holy name. It's only available in the association of devotees. That's what even the Rupa Goswami said. That nectar of devotion is full of all this. I'll be giving I'll go through the nectar of devotion also with you. So a few passages from nectar of devotion. In Rupa Goswami says, Ado Shraddha Tado Sadhu Sang. You had little bit of Shraddha in you. You had little bit of Shraddha. You had little bit of faith on Krishna, on the Supreme Lord. Then what I did the next was I gave you the Sadhu Sang. I sent you into the Sadhu Sang. So Sadhu Sang is the mercy. The Sadhu Sang is the mercy of the Supreme Lord. That you exhibited little bit of faith towards him, sincere faith. And he provided you with the association of such devotees. Sadhu Sang, Sadhu Sang, Sadhu Sang, Sarva Shastra hai. So love matra Sadhu Sang, Sarva Siddhi hai. So just पलक झपकने का समय भी अगर साधु का संग मिल गया, शुद्ध वैष्णव का संग मिल गया, सारी सिद्धियां प्राप्त हो गई, सब कुछ मिल गया. We got benefited with everything in this world. So that's why the Granth Sahib is even saying this, that you get everything in this world when you're in the association of devotees. साध के संग पाए नाम रतन, साध के संग एक ऊपर जतन. You know, when you're in the association of devotees, you are actually trying, you're directed towards the Supreme Lord. That is the work of the association. That is what the sadhus are doing. They actually direct you towards the Supreme Lord. Sadh ki mahima barne kaund prani. They say how one mortal can actually glorify the sadhu's mahima. He says these tongue, they fail to glorify the sadhu sang. It is so important. Sa Nanak Sadh ki sobha prabh mai samani. He says this, when you're talking glorifying the sadhu sang, actually you're glorifying the Supreme Lord. Sadh ke sang agochar mile. You will meet the Supreme Lord if you remain in the association of devotees. The day you leave, the moment you leave the association of devotees, you will not reach the Supreme Lord. Because the Supreme Lord is agochar. It's very difficult. It's incomprehensible. To understand Krishna, you cannot understand him on your own. Sadh ke sang sada par phule. He says the holy name, the company of the sadhus, one flourishes forever. So this is there is lot about the sadhu sang in the Gurbani also. And then we are talking of the Rupa Goswami now. Back to Rupa Goswami. He says, Ado Shraddha Tado Sadhu Sang Tada Bhajan Kriya. The moment you are in the association of devotees, the bhajan kriya starts. We, on our own, we can never do the bhajan. That bhajan that will purify us, we are not able to do it unless we are in the association of devotees. Of course, Bhagwan ka naam jo hai bada powerful hai. Kaise bhi liya jaye, ulta, seedha, kaise bhi liya jaye. It is going to purify us. But remember, if it is given by the pure devotee of the Lord to you, it can make the wonders. We have the story of Valmiki. Narad Muni gave him this, and then what happened? He became Valmiki. A hunter becomes Valmiki. So this is the power of the sadhu sangha. And it says there is in the nectar of devotion again, he says, there is lot to talk about. Ado Shraddha, Tado Sadhu Sang, Tada Bhajan Kriya, Tada Anartha Nivriti. Once you are in the association of devotees, you chant the holy name, all the anarthas go away from you. All the divine qualities manifest in you. How did they manifest? Only the sadhu sang. The sadhu sang actually attracted all the divine qualities. On our own, we will be always unable to do also all this. And then in the nectar of devotion, it says in the chapter 12 that a pure devotee of the Lord cannot be separated from the lotus feet of the Lord for even a moment. Undoubtedly, the Lord is always within the hearts of all living creatures. So he's in the hearts of all living creatures. In the Adi Puran, there is the statement by Lord Krishna himself addressing Arjuna. He says in the Adi Puran, my dear Partha, one who claims to be my devotee is not so. Only a person who claims to be the devotee of my devotee is actually my devotee. No one can approach the Supreme Personality of Godhead directly. One must approach him through his pure devotees. That's again in the Nectar of Devotion written in the chapter 12. That Krishna clearly says to Arjuna that directly you cannot reach me. जो क्लेम करते हैं मैं भगवान का भक्त हूँ, वो भक्त है ही नहीं. जो क्लेम करता है मैं भगवान के भक्तों का 7 times he's serving the devotee of the Lord, that is actually the devotee of the Lord. So this is very important that we actually serve the sadhu sang. We remain in the sadhu sang, and then Krishna recognizes us. Otherwise, Krishna does not recognize us. We may have our own individuality. That's right. Today I was reading Prabhupada's quote, the 28th July, what he said. He said this, that we have our own individualities. We have our own opinions. He says that's very good. But they all coincide. They all culminate towards Krishna. When Krishna is the center, all the opinions, we respect them, but everything flows towards Krishna. Then you will actually overcome all the difficulties in the association when your common goal is Krishna. So he is the supreme most, and when we are actually trying to reach out to him, we overcome all the difficulties. In the sadhu sang, it becomes easy. Agar hum kahin lack bhi karte hain, the other person pulls us up. He takes us up. Yes, come over. If you miss one day of Mangal Arati, 2 days, then the association of the devotees remind you, please be back. And this is actually the mercy of Krishna. Krishna wants you to be back in the association. So association is very, very important, and one should actually be in the association of devotees, because bhakti bina association ke ho hi nahi sakti. It's impossible. So one has to have the association of devotees, because without association, advancement is very, very difficult. It cannot happen. So the process of advancing in Krishna consciousness, Prabhupada quotes it there in the Srimad Bhagavatam purports, he tells. And it's specially quoted by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to Sri Sanatan Goswami in Madhya Leela also, 23.16, where he says, while explaining the process of awakening of one's original loving relationship with the Lord, Srila Prabhupada writes in the purport here, in Chaitanya Charitamrita and in Srimad Bhagavatam, he writes in the purport, he gives you how the process of advancing in Krishna conscious can be happened. He talks about it. He says, the first point is that one must seek the association of persons who are Krishna conscious and who engage in devotional service. Without such association, one cannot make advancement. So, jab ado shraddha tado sadhu sang. So we have to be in the association of devotees to make advancement. And then he secondly says, simply by theoretical knowledge or study, one cannot make any advancement, appreciable advancement. You may have the knowledge, you may be able to argue with others, but agar aapke paas practical knowledge nahi hai, because Bhagavad Gita talks of it's theistic science, it's a practical. So jab tak practical knowledge nahi hai bhakti ki, how will you make advancement? थ्योरी पढ़ ली, भगवत गीता को रट लिया, सारे श्लोकों को याद कर लिया, भागवतम को रट लिया, भागवतम के श्लोकों में fully you are engrossed, but then you did not practice those shlokas. So what did you do? The practice comes in the association of devotees. It can never be alone. How will you lose your ego? How will you lose your pride unless you are in the association of devotees? How will you overcome the tendency to do prajalpa, the gossiping? I just recently gave a talk show on the Hare Krishna TV about the ninda, those who criticize. What happens to them? So criticism, those who haven't watched it, they can watch it. It's still on the YouTube, Hare Krishna TV. So those very beautiful points that came up, and a story I related there. That is how one can actually, जब हम किसी की निंदा करते हैं, जब हम किसी के प्रति वैष्णव अपराध, it's actually नाम अपराध हो जाता है जब हम वैष्णव अपराध करते हैं. That's a नाम अपराध. It's you are actually defaming a devotee. You're talking about a devotee behind their back. You're criticizing them. Then it becomes a naam aparad. The naam is non-different to Krishna. The holy name is non-different to Krishna. So an offense towards a Vaishnava becomes an offense towards Krishna. So one has to be very careful. So when we are in the association of devotees, it's actually a check on us. And we become, कहा जाता है कि भक्ति में हम बहुत ज़्यादा सावधान हो जाते हैं. Even the Gurbani says, सावधान एकाग्र चित. भगवान का नाम लेना है तो बहुत सावधानी से लेना होगा. अपने आप को पूरी तरह से जोड़ना होगा, एकाग्र करना होगा और बड़े ही सावधानी से लेना होगा. जो सावधानी से नाम नहीं लेते हैं उनका फॉल डाउन निश्चित है. तो इसलिए हमें बहुत सावधान होना पड़ता है नाम लेने के लिए. तो भक्तों के संग में हम हमेशा सावधान रहते हैं. अगर कुछ गलती हो जाए तो भक्त हमारे सहयोग देते हैं, हमें हेल्प करते हैं. And a pure devotee of the Lord, his blessings, actually the parampara से जो blessings आ रही हैं, that are much required to remain stable in the bhakti. ये तो भक्ति है तो सरल सुसुखम है, पर बड़ी कहा गया it's like walking on the razor's edge. We are walking on the तलवार की धार पर चलने के बराबर है, क्योंकि हम कभी भी गिर सकते हैं इससे. We have to be very very careful. तो भक्तों के संग में रहने से हम हमेशा जागते रहते हैं. We are always जागरूक. And it says here, one must give up the association of the materialistic people. You should keep, actually जितनी बहुत जरूरी है बस उतनी ही रखनी चाहिए. We should not get indulged more and more into the material association. And then because Without the association of devotees, one cannot understand the activities of the Lord. So, हम भक्तों के संग में जब तक नहीं होंगे, हम भगवान की एक्टिविटीज को भी नहीं समझ पाएंगे. एक रीजन है कि जब हम भागवतम तो पढ़ते रहते हैं, जो कई ऐसे लोग हैं जो भागवतम पढ़ते हैं नित्य, पर वो भगवान से क्यों नहीं जुड़ पाते? क्योंकि वो एसोसिएशन ऑफ डिवोटीज में नहीं जाते. They do not actually take the blessings of a pure devotee of the Lord. Then what happens is they actually think these are all fictitious. ये तो mythology है. ऐसा कैसे हो सकता है? उनका faith strong नहीं होता. Faith कैसे strong होता है? तभी रूप गोस्वामी का in the association of devotees. अतो श्रद्धा तदो साधु संग. साधु संग में निष्ठा आएगी, रुचि आएगी, आसक्ति आएगी, नहीं तो नहीं आएगी. ये सारी stages हैं भक्ति की. So Nectar of Devotion, I just recently did a course in Nectar of, with my group, I did a course on Nectar of Devotion, the first 19 chapters. So they talk about the bhakti, samanya bhakti, sadhana bhakti, bhava bhakti, prema bhakti. So till you come to the 19th chapter, you achieve the prema bhakti. But then how you start? You start with samanya bhakti, and then it goes into sadhana bhakti. Then it enters into bhava bhakti. And the bhava bhakti ultimately goes into prema bhakti. But this actually starts with the association of devotees. It is not possible unless you're in the association of devotees. So service or devotion cannot be offered to anything that is impersonal. It has to be given, it has to be offered to the Krishna in person. So the Archa Vigraha Seva, the darshan of the Archa Vigraha, it's very important. And that is the reason when we are in the association of devotees, we dance, we chant, we sing the glories of the Lord. So you enjoy everything. And this enjoyment is spiritual enjoyment. And this enjoyment is actually bliss. So we linger for that enjoyment. So we linger for the kirtan, we linger for the kirtan melas, because you are actually practically enjoying the ecstasy. So service or devotion cannot be offered to anything impersonal. And to understand the personal activities of the Lord, one has to seek the association of the devotees. And that is the reason the association is so important, because association of the devotees is the association with the Lord. The Gurbani says, Bin paga satsang na labije. The Gurbani says, Bin paga satsang na labije. That means without good fortune, you cannot get the sadhu sang. You're very fortunate that you're in the sadhu sang. Bin pagana satsang labije, bin satsang mal parije. And without the association of the devotees, the mal, the papas will actually increase in your life. The sinful activities you will not be able to control your sins. Bin paga satsang na labije, bin satsang mal barije jiyo. So मैल बढ़ती ही चली जाएगी, अनर्थास बढ़ते ही चले जाएंगे अगर आप सत्संग में नहीं रहते. If you are not in the association of devotees, you are bound to be, क्योंकि दो ही associations हैं, either the devotee association or the association of non-devotees. इसके बीच का कोई रास्ता नहीं है. Association का actually अर्थ है जहां आप अपने अंदर वो गुणों को imbibe करते हैं जो भक्तों में है. तो ऐसा करने से जब आप materialistic लोगों के बीच में भी जाते हैं, तो you are actually giving your association there, not taking their association. So when you are fully भक्ति में आप रत रहते हैं, आप भगवान का नाम जप रहे हैं भक्तों के संग में, and you are being blessed by the sadhu sang. So when you are blessed by the sadhu sang, then what happens when that armor suit is actually on us? We are wearing that armor suit, and when we go out in the material association, we give our association there. We do not take their association. वो शराब पिए, वो नॉनवेज खाएं, वो कैसी भी बातें करें, आप अपनी ही बात उनको कहकर आते हो. आपका तिलक, आपकी कंठी माला, आपका बिहेवियर, आपकी वाणी उनको संग देती है, उनका संग लेती नहीं है. So you become so strong. So sadhu sang makes you very strong in bhakti. That is why sadhu sang is very much required in the devotional spiritual life. One cannot part away with the sadhu sang. So I believe I have to take question answers also. It's already 7:10 hone wale hain, 7:08 okay. Yes, Ramchandra Prabhu, I should go ahead with the question answers now, I believe.
Yes. Thank you very much, first of all. It's a ocean of a topic to cover all these points in a short time. It's more like on steroids. So even the listener has to take it on steroids. And I hope if anybody has a question, please feel free to ask. Sometimes we see progress, sometimes we don't. And any question is not a foolish question. So please raise your hand if you'd like to.
Please go ahead, because questions are very enlightening, and they enlighten, the answers enlighten the speaker, they enlighten everybody. That's why question answers is very important session. And it's a test on us also, that how much we have taken, what we retain in us. Because retain karna bada mushkil hai. How what we have retained in us through the questions, it exhibits. So please, yes.
Anybody? So while you think about the question and raise your hand, I'll just quickly I'll just take 30 seconds to make some announcements.
Yes.
Before devotees drop off. So if you all can see the screen, our upcoming programs. This Sunday, we have a class by Her Grace Arundhati Mataji. On August 6th, we have our annual summer picnic at Wanson Park, which is in Paramus. So please join. And obviously, August 11th, I think, Balaram Jayanti. We're celebrating at the center. And then 19th, also Janmashtami cards are out. We'll be distributing them. It's already on our Facebook page. So let's go. Let's start with Rashi Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you so much as always for the wonderful class. I have a question on about the judging, right? It's not about just the devotees, but at our workplace also there are like some incidents happen, and we don't do any kind of prajalpa or talk bad on their back, but still inside our mind we sometimes judge people. So how to avoid that, and how we can overcome being judgmental on people?
Good question. And you said, you added one thing, that in mind you just actually talk about, like you think about some person, that and that. So one thing is there in Kali Yuga, there is one big, actually Krishna has given us a discount, that no sin will be committed through mind. If you think of in mind, so you're not committing any sin. As soon as it becomes on the Vani, and then it becomes a karma. So we should be very careful before speaking. In mind, we may think of that person as that, but we should not actually talk about that person. You see, I spoke in my talk show other day, in the workplace, in like those who are doing business, there'll be many things that will come up. Of course, sometimes you see a person doing something wrong, then you want to tell it to, and then you are scared that, oh, I become a judgmental, or I'm doing wrong. But if you talk to the authorities, he's doing something wrong, and you talk to the authorities, those who can rectify him, you just directly talk to them and then forget it. Then don't circulate the talk, like, because वो rumor बन जाता है. फिर आपने तो कुछ सत्य बोला, पर उसके साथ the people will add on some more things, and what they that multiplies, and then you become a part of that, the who originated it. So, but your intention was not that. So it is the best is to tell the authorities in the job, in the business also, those who can rectify him. If somebody is stealing something, or if somebody is doing wrong, so you have to rectify him. So how you rectify that is actually a big task. So one should only talk to the authorities, those who have the control on him. That's it. So give the evidence, talk to them, tell them, and then you forget it. You don't talk to the others. That's okay. And it's finished when you're once given to the authorities. So in mind may it's fine if you have, but don't bring it to your Vani unless you are confirmed about it, and then you talk about it to the authorities and let them rectify it. That's the simplest way. So prajalpa, gossiping, is prohibited everywhere, whether we are in the devotee circle or we are outside. So devotees don't indulge in gossiping. In the devotee circle also, if they see somebody is not properly behaving in the Vaishnav circle also, so to the authority, only to the authority, just we have to talk to them and just convey our concern, and then we should forget about it. Don't circulate it among others, then it becomes a namaparad. I hope I'm.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you, Mataji. It helps. So, just a quick follow-up question on that. So, how can we even stop our mind chattering? As in, you always tell about chanting. So, can we just, if we continuously or attentively do the chanting, will all these impurity go away, or do we have to do an extra effort? Like we have to be very conscious, and there are many methods of all these things in this modern world, right? Like if we talk about anger management, that is an anartha also. So do we have to follow all those, or just we, if we are doing a devotional service and chanting, it will help purify?
That's a good question, a beautiful question. Because people tend to think that this is, we are chanting, let me do this course, let me do, go ahead and do this, like anger management. Of course, if you're doing with the devotees, they will go into the Bhagavad Gita and bring you all the aspects where Krishna talks about anger, then how you rectify it. But the ultimate solution to all the problems in this world is the chanting of the holy name in the association of devotees. That is the ultimate solution to subside your anger. That is the ultimate solution to subside your tendency to do gossiping, prajalpa. That is the ultimate solution for bringing humility in you. Everything, because the holy name has got, we every day read the Shikshashtakam. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says this holy name can give you all the, it's Nam Nam Kari Bahuda Sarva Shakti. It has got the all the Shakti in it. It can give you that. So having that faith, with that faith when you are chanting, the holy name will give you everything. But if you don't have faith in the holy name, you think, oh, if I go ahead and do some, from the non-devotee circle, I do some anger management techniques, you won't be able to subside your anger. Because Krishna talks about anger in a very, he's given the, actually when you go into the, we also do anger management courses with us. We do those PPT presentations. But we talk from the Bhagavad Gita, where Krishna talks of the anger, how, where it takes the birth, how you can control it. So the holy name actually has got all the power. From where we got the power to give the PPT presentations, it's the holy name, the chanting of the holy name. It can give all the energy, all the transcendental energy is there in this transcendental name. So don't worry. Just chant sincerely and you see the difference. But chant with faith and sincerely. That is the faith and in the association of devotees. Never think that I can chant outside the association of devotees. So, abhi jaise chanting in the group, do few rounds in the group, like 7-8 rounds at least with the devotees, and rest you can chant on your own. But you should make it a point to chant among the devotees. That's why Prabhupada gave this, that in the morning, after the Mangalarti, devotees chant in the temple hall. Let's chant together in the temple hall. So those vibrations, that energy, it gets stored in you, and then you get the strength. You are ready to face the world. You're ready to face all the anarthas. Face the world means face the anarthas. First, we have to face ourselves only. Our heart actually is full of vices. So we have to face these vices. But this holy name makes us so strong that we are able to face our own vices. We are able to cleanse our vices. So it's very important to chant and in the association of devotees. Hari Bol. Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam. Thank you so much.
So in the same line, if devotees want to join in the morning, every morning on this Zoom, 6 a.m. to 8 a.m., we have our chanting sessions. Very few devotees join. But, I'll tell you, this morning chanting is very powerful. And you can join for however long. So please do. Gopal Govind Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji. It was a beautiful class. Please accept my obeisances. Thank you for giving your time. With regard to the Sadhu Sangha or the association of the devotees, you made a very beautiful point of association means taking those gunas, their qualities, and adopting and practicing. So that's very nice. Thank you. Question is about when we are in Sadhu Sangha, association of devotees, um, we are recommended that we should be respectful, we should be mindful about there are a lot of senior devotees, lot of devotees who may not be, who may be beginners, and they all watched how you behave, how you act, right? So at times, you're not mindful of that, who might be watching you, and you might have committed offenses or unknown aparadh like that. So how do we take care of them? And there's a other phase of that, which is, let's say you did not pay obeisances for a devotee who might be in a common cloth, but might be very exalted and might have taken off aparadh. So how do we avoid these kind of such situations?
You see, when we do Vaishnav Pranam, it's for everybody. And that's why just entering the temple, we do Vaishnav Pranam. Just we are on the threshold to enter the temple. The first thing we bow down and do Vaishnav Pranam. So it is to the all the Vaishnavas present there. And even before the deity, it is said that we should not do the Pranam separately to the Guru even. It's only the Vaishnav Pranam we do. So doing the Pranam, Vaishnav Pranam, then Prabhupada. So it is okay. I don't think so. If the devotee is exalted, he will not take the aparadh. Specifically, if you are knowingly not giving obeisances to a pure Vaishnava. So we though, what Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said, that you don't have to disrespect even an ant also. What to talk of the Vaishnavas? He says even an ant you should not disrespect. So you should give the place to the ant also, because it's the birthright for the ant even. So this is actually learning from him and controlling our mind. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said again. So the mind controlling, actually you should hit your mind hard every day in the morning with your slippers. So Vaishnava Aparadh, we should be very careful for not committing. We should be very careful in paying obeisances. That's right, what you said. And what was the first part of your question? The second I got it this. The first part, what you wanted to know?
The first part is, when we are in association of the devotees, how to avoid, like how do we be careful and just don't commit any offenses?
That is
Because
Mhm.
it's like this, like without devotee association you won't grow, and if you take devotee association there is a possibility of Vaishnava Aparadh. So walking on the
you
fine edge.
cannot, you cannot leave the association to be being afraid of that I might commit an offense, so I will not go in the association, I will sit at home and chant. But then that will not help you. That will actually take you away from bhakti, because we have to get rid of, we have to become humble, we have to get rid of ego, we have to get rid of so many anarthas. So that will happen only when we are in the association of devotees. You will learn to be, how to keep a check on yourself in the association of devotees. Otherwise it's impossible for us to keep a check. Our ego will become more stronger if we sit alone. Oh, we think, oh, I'm a great devotee of the Lord, I've become the greatest devotee, I'm chanting, I'm getting early in the morning. So I get a, there was once a child who went with his grandfather to the Mangalarti. And when he was returning from Mangalarti, he saw so many people sleeping, like in his household itself. There were so many, all his brothers and siblings, his uncles and aunts, they were all sleeping at home. And he told his grandfather, see, I am so I am very purified because they are sleeping and I did this, I made it to the Mangalarti with you. And what his grandfather told him, you have actually क्या किया है तुमने तुमने उनकी निंदा कर दी है. You have spoken against, you have actually criticized your own siblings, your own uncles and aunts, and then that is how you will lose all the piety you will get from the Mangal Aarti. You will lose it all now. So when we actually दूसरों को कहना, it's like we can teach them by our own example. But if we keep on criticizing them again and again, you can tell them, yeah, you should get up for Mangalarti, Prabhu, it's nice. You should go for the, what happens with that, this happens, that happens. When you tell them that, that may change their heart. But if you criticize a person and you say, oh, I'm superior to you, you're inferior to me, I got up in the morning, I go there, I am, so we are boosting our ego. We are committing an aparadh. So we will actually go away from bhakti. That can very well be experienced in your homes even. If two of us are devotees and the rest family is not, if you keep on criticizing the rest family that we are superior to you, see, we get up, we do this, we do that. the rest of the family will never become Krishna conscious. They will say, oh, how egoistic you are. How the false ego, your false ego is so high. First, you are not only humble, but this we learn in the association of devotees. When we go out in the association of devotees, we become humble. We even fold our hands and tell non-devotees, yes, please take to Krishna consciousness. It has changed our lives. It will change yours also. So that's how we preach. So preaching actually comes from the association of devotees. Without the association of devotees, we won't be able to preach even. We don't get the inspiration to preach. If I'm sitting at home all alone, and throughout the lockdown, if I would have thought, oh, I can't travel now, I should sit and just do my sadhana, I should focus on my sadhana only, then I would not have been able to preach to the world, in our devotional family on the Zoom sessions, what I started then, I would like to tell you all the devotee. I haven't met a devotee myself from America. She lives in Farmington, near Farmington Hill, near Detroit. I have not met her personally, but she has been initiated when Guru Maharaj was there. She was interviewed by so many people and she passed all the interviews. She joined me in March 2020. She started chanting then, and now she does service in the temple there. She has been going there, and then she's chanting 16 rounds, following all the 4 regulative principles, and she did IDC course, and she has been able to get initiation from Guru Maharaj. So Guru Maharaj even talked to her, took her interviews personally, spoke to her. And then she was telling me she gave so many tests there and she was able. But that is how that could happen, because she was strongly joining us in the groups. She was always there. I could see her always, that she was there. And to the extent that when the lockdown was going on, we did the Bhagavatam marathon. She asked for a Bhagavatam set. But she said, I want it from Delhi. And she paid rupees 30,000 to get the Bhagavatam set delivered to her in America. She said, I'm very eager. The temples here are closed. I can't go. So can you get it couriered from there? I said, I can manage it to be sent to your family here in India. And they will take the responsibility to courier to you. And she got it done. She got it shipped from here. It took a month and it reached her, and she paid nearly 30,000 for that Bhagavatam set. And the beautiful name, actually her Nishta is very strong in Bhakti. And she has been doing so. Guru knows it all, I tell you. And she got the name, her name starts from N, the Karmi name. And the name she got after initiation was Nishta Murti Devi Dasi. You see. So the Guru Parampara knows it all. Srila Prabhupada knows everything. You can't hide anything from the Guru Parampara. So that is why the association is so important. We should always be in the association of the devotees to actually, agar ye sochenge aparadh ho jayega and we avoid association, then we will not advance in devotional life. We have to get rid of all the vices. We have to learn to be humble. And humility comes here only, when we are in the association of devotees. Hari Bol. Thank you, Prabhu.
That's beautiful. Thank you. It's just for a reminder that we do have 2 new initiates of Maharaj here, Radhika Mataji. She got initiated just 2 weeks back, not even 2 weeks, last week.
Very well.
Maharaj was here in Baltimore, and she got initiated. And then we have Braj Priya Gaurangi Devi Dasi. So, yeah. And I was fortunate that I got association of Maharaj. I was sitting right next to him for this whole initiation program.
Wonderful.
That's great. Wonderful. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Hari Bol. So I think so it's getting late there. It must be like it's 7:30 in the morning here, and there I think so it's now 10 o'clock or something. Beyond
Yes. Yes, just about.
Yeah, then tomorrow is working for you all. I think so.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you. Good to have your association again. And so devotees, please join us for the Japa call if you can. And next Wednesday for the next Wednesday Sangha. If you have any topics in mind that you would like to hear, then send it to me or Ram Tulsi Prabhu or Gopal Govind Prabhu, and let us know that these are the topics we would like to have on our calls, so we can try and arrange that. Thank you again. Let's thank Mataji with loud Hari Bol.
Vancha kalpataru.
Hari Bol.
Hari Bol. Vancha kalpataru bhaksha kripa sindhu bhayevacha patita naam bhavnebhyo Vaishnavyo namaः. Vaishnav Thakur ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrind ki jai. Namacharya Haridas Thakur ki jai. Shad Goswami Vrind ki jai. Shri Shri Radha Shyam Sundar Bhagwan ki jai. Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Guru Maharaj ki jai. God Premanande. Hari Bol.
Hari Bol.
Hari Bol.
ISKCON Bergen ki.
Hari Bol.
Hari Bol. Ramchandra Prabhu ki jai, who organizes this all, who invites me for his,
Hari-
the reason my being here is because he and Shivani Mataji. She actually, they both invite me here and I can't say no then. It was a very sudden program. Just yesterday, they sent me a message and then I said, okay, I will be there. Hari Bol. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Also, Ram Tulsi Prabhu is one of our other backbones of this program. He's also, and Gopal Govind Prabhu and others, many others who host or. So like I said, this Wednesday program is not a one-man show. It takes a lot of effort, and we get inspired to do this program when we see that many of them are joining and taking benefit. We will still do it if it's two people, but just like any show, anything you do, the more the merrier. So please join us again. Hare Krishna.
I started preaching when my Guru Maharaj said, when I was not initiated even, he said, you should give lectures. And I said, I'm not perfect. How can I was so nervous? And he said, you will become perfect. And even if the walls are there, you should speak. Even if only the walls are there, you speak. And that's what motivated me. I used to go to the temple, give a class, even if there were 3, 4 ladies, 5 ladies, I used to give a class. And then slowly, gradually, Guru Maharaj blessings and Prabhupada blessings, everything happened. So I would request you all to please join Ramchandra Prabhu in the morning sessions, chanting sessions, because association of devotees is very, very difficult to get. And when you're getting it, you must grab it. Hari Bol.